10 years ago, or actually it's closer to 9, but who's counting? I made a video on this channel called Chargers Lose to the Browns, Fire Everyone, several exclamation points. And as much as I would like to come on the camera tonight and give a performance to rival that day and that incident in football history, as much as I would like to follow up the bat out of hell that was that video, with today's video being a bat out of hell 2, back into hell type situation. Unfortunately, I am struck with too much shame and apathy to deliver a performance like that. I'm prepared to put about as much effort into this video as Justin Herbert was in the previous game that we have just completed watching. That was an interesting sentence. I'm struggling over here, folks. Yeah. I really want to get animated. I really want to be loud and mad, and I want to yell. Man alive, I want to yell. But why should I care? Why should I put any effort into this video? Why should I even record this video? Why should I care about Chargers football? LA, give me a reason. Give me a reason. The other LA team could barely beat the Panthers, and yet the Panthers look like they had a single NFL caliber player on their offense. Now, that's unfair. I gotta give a shout out to my man Vidal. Or should it be Vidal? Isn't that, considering the way that it's spelt? I think the jury should be out on the pronunciation at this point, but I'm not going to question it. They said Vidal all night, and Vidal, I'm going to be calling him that. You know, whatever it is, however you pronounce it, he deserves it for putting the entire team on his back for the entire game. Like, you can just take a look at that one singular play where Herbert just drops the ball for an offensive fumble, and my man Vidal scoops it up and runs for a first down. About a 15-yard run off an offensive fumble. That's pretty much the story of this game. I will say the offensive line impressed me. There were Herbert got sacked 5 times. You're going to give me 5 sacks? Honestly, I'm impressed. Good game from the offensive line, all things considered. Yeah, the story of the Chargers has been the offensive line since at least 2009, and it hasn't gotten better ever since. You know, you just get a litany of players that just go through the NFL grinder, and yet somehow the Chargers find a way to find the worst offensive lineman every single time. Generationally awful. There was some post on X that listed the quality of every offensive line in the NFL, and some teams had 1,000 points. Other teams had 400, 300. Chargers had 5. The grand total of 5. I don't know what the metric was, but it really said everything. Now, unfortunately, I don't care. I don't care at this point. So once again, the day is saved thanks to a mid-ass Patriots team who's going to be carried by their defense. Let me make absolutely no mistake. This game was won by the defense. It was not lost by the Chargers defense. 9 out of every 10 defensive plays that the Chargers were doing every 9 out of 10 plays in every defensive stand, the Chargers were shutting them down. Drake May had 1 good pass all night, and granted, it was the only touchdown of the game for either team. But, so I will give him that. At least he had 1 good pass all game long, but that was it. That was it. He also had an all right run of 30 yards or something, but that's it. Once they got into the Chargers side of the field, it was lights out. The defense showed up all game, all 60 minutes. If the Chargers could have had one good play, if Herbert could have made one play, and there's no excuses at this point. There's no excuses at this point. This man has been in how many playoff games? Forget about the pressure. My man, if you were not on the Chargers, you would be out on your ass. I want them to trade Herbert at this point. I don't care. I don't care. He sucks. He puts together one game every year where he looks like a Peyton Manning-esque Hall of Fame quarterback, first ballot Hall of Famer, 5 Super Bowl rings, one for every single finger and another on his fucking nutsack. No. He has one game per year like that, and everything else is just pure mediocrity. I learned something this year. And I have my childhood hero, Phillip Rivers, to thank for that. Phillip Rivers came back and was more productive on offense for the Colts than Herbert was for this entire game. He threw for more touchdowns. He threw for more touchdowns against Seattle, who has the #1 seed in the playoffs, off the back of Sam Darnold. How the hell did that happen? But Herbert's out here. This game was over in the first quarter. Intercepted on the Patriots side. Chargers tip interception. I don't remember who actually got the interception. Derwin James was in there doing his thing, and someone else grabbed the ball. And Chargers line up on the Patriots 10. The Patriots 10, 1st and goal in the first quarter. You want to know how many points they scored on the 10-yard line, 1st and goal? Nada. 0 fucking points off an interception on the Patriots 10-yard line. Terrible. Pathetic. Horrendous. You have the best kicker in the NFL. Cameron Dicker. I was wearing his jersey earlier. I took it off out of shame, and I haven't even left my house today. He is the best kicker in the NFL today, maybe of all time. And at least of this generation. You have him. I don't care if it's 4th down on the Patriots 3-yard line. You have Cameron Dicker. You have guaranteed points. This thing could have been tied up for the entire game. It could have been tied up the entire time, but no. Instead, they go for it, and Herbert just throws it out of the backfield on a 4th down. It's like he forgot what down it was. Like, that's terrible. And then prior to that entire drive, it was Herbert draw, Herbert draw, Herbert draw. And then he just throws out of the end zone like, well, my job is done. Back to the sideline I go. And it's like, give me a goddamn break. He is not the guy. He is not the guy. And I say this knowing full well that if the Chargers traded him to the Raiders for their 1st-round pick, he'd go on a fucking Super Bowl run. I'm 100% aware of this fact. He would figure out how to be a system quarterback under Sean Payton, except I think they fired him, which is justified given how the Raiders season went. You know what? But you know what? All that being said, I would rather be the Raiders. Because you know what? The Raiders have the 1st draft pick. They got the future in their hands. The Chargers are going to have like the fucking 22nd pick. Oh, they ain't going to get shit. Oh, what you gonna do? Get another fucking left guard that's gonna go down in week 2 for the season and fucking retire after the end of the year off a career-ending injury and be sent to the fucking retirement home with $15 million guaranteed? Yeah, is that what you're gonna do, Chargers? Is that what you're gonna do again? I told you I wasn't gonna get mad and yell, and yet here I am. But the reason that I say I'm not gonna get mad and yell is because why should I care? Why should I care? This is barely a football team. The Chargers are barely a football team. They only exist to pad the pockets of Dean Spanos. That's all they've ever been. That's all they've ever been, is just a bank account, is just a store of value for Dean Spanos. Motherfucker could sell the team and put it into a fucking painting instead. Get Hunter Biden to draw you up something nice. That'll fucking be worth $30 million. There you go. You could at least give this team to someone who gives a fuck, but they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. As long as the Chargers exist, Dean Spanos gets paid. So who cares? Why do I care so much? Why do I care so much? And this brings me back to Philip Rivers, who comes back for the Colts and plays at a decent level. And you know what? All things considered, it was a pretty good comeback for Philip Rivers. He hadn't played a single snap in nearly 5 years. And he goes out and puts up comparable numbers to Herbert. Fucking Chargers rest their starters in the final week of the regular season and still put up 0 touchdowns. It's like, what is even the point? What's even the point of resting your starters if you're not going to do any goddamn thing? If you're not going to do any goddamn thing. Oh, yeah, here's another fucking first down off of a rush from Vidal, and then it's another 3 and out from Herbert being fucking blind as a bat. And you can't blame the receivers. The receivers were getting open. Herbert just needed to throw better. And that's basically the story of the season. Unless Herbert is being perfectly protected by the line, he can't do shit. He gets out of the pocket and it's like a fucking blind bat trying to echolocate a single receiver on the field and failing to do so. The absolute failure on every single, in every single area possible. And like, who else can you blame this on? Jim Harbaugh? I don't know. His play calling wasn't that bad, all things considered. Defense was locked in. Defensive coordinator earned their fucking paycheck. I don't know how else you can do this unless you can get a player that's capable of making plays. I'm completely off of the Herbert train at this point. I don't care. I don't care. He's a fraud. Trade him now. It's hopeless. It's absolutely hopeless. I don't care where he goes. I don't care what team he ends up on. Trade him for a top 5 pick. Trade him for a top 5 pick. I don't care. I don't care, guys. Whoever Indiana's quarterback is he up for the draft this year? Call him up. Call him up. Make sure you give him your number. Do not let him go. Do not let the Indiana quarterback go, okay? Just saying. Just saying, ladies and gentlemen of the audience. But like I'll keep trying to bring it back to Philip Rivers because Rivers taught me something this year. I can't believe that I'm about to say this, but I think Philip Rivers sucks. And I think he's always sucked. And the reason that I say this is because I watched every game that he started for the Colts this year. And you want to know what happened? He kept it close, had an opportunity to score a touchdown or even a field goal to win the game in the final seconds of the fourth quarter, and he threw interceptions every single time, and it's intercepted. And I stood there watching these games every single week, and I was like, oh my God, it's like it's 2010 again. It's like a true throwback. We've gone back. We have turned back the clocks, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back in prime Philip Rivers form. And that's when I realized something. Mike McCoy sucked. Norv Turner wasn't the best. But you know what the common denominator was in every single failed Chargers playoff run? Phillip Rivers was the quarterback. Phillip Rivers was the one throwing interceptions every single time in the final drive of the fourth quarter. And LaDainian Tomlinson wasted his career. Antonio Gates wasted his career in failed playoff run after failed playoff run off the back of Phillip Rivers interceptions in the fourth quarter. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm really saying this right now. I can't believe this is where we're at. I can't believe that this is our lives in 2026. I can't believe that I'm at this point. And the blame doesn't fall entirely in Herbert's lap. The O-line is horrendous. We all know this. This is the chart. You're on the Chargers. The O-line is going to be awful. But we're able to accommodate in other places. Quentin Johnson is capable of getting open. Keenan Allen is elite. Cameron Dicker can actually make field goals. That was a big problem during Phillip Rivers' time. He sometimes was actually able to drive the ball down into field goal territory, and then some prick like Nick Kading would go wide right like the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe they should fire the current Harbaugh on the team and get the other one. Maybe they should do that. Maybe we could have a Harbaugh head coach and a Harbaugh offensive coach. There we go. Just have an entire fucking Family Matters type situation. Just make it an absolute sitcom at this point, because it may as well be. This team may as well be a sad, pathetic, past its prime, just laying down and trying its best to die sitcom. The fucking Chargers as an organization is essentially The Simpsons at this point. It really is. They're just begging to be put out of their misery, but Dean Spanos refuses to do fucking goddamn anything, and the team is just gonna rot for the next 20 fucking years minimum. So why do I care? Why do I give a fuck? Maybe I should go back to being a Redskins fan like I was for that 2-year period. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should go all the way back to when I was in first grade and I had a Randy Moss jersey for the Vikings, and some random white guy in the lunch line at the school was like, "I'm Randy Moss." And I was like, "You are?" Maybe I should go back to being a Vikings fan. Shit. Carson Wentz is on the team. We could come full circle with that shit. It's sad. It really is sad. It's really sad that this organization refuses to do absolutely anything at any point in its existence. And I'm not surprised. You shouldn't be surprised. No one should be surprised at the fact that they're going to go one and done in the playoffs every year until the end of time. At least until Cameron Dicker gets a fucking brain and trades himself off to another team. That's it. That's it. And then they're not going to be making the playoffs, because like these one-score games, these one-field goal games, once Dicker's gone, it's back to the basement for the Chargers. And this was a great opportunity. Chiefs having a mid-season knocked out before they even get to the playoffs. The Chargers were the team that knocked them out. This was the opportunity for the Chargers to actually accomplish something and prove that they deserve to continue to exist as a fucking franchise. But no, they're not going to do that. They're going to fucking shit in their hands and smack it together and clap as hard as possible and then fucking rub it all in their fucking faces and then fucking make you, the fans, pay for it. I don't know what to fucking say at this point. Fucking get rid of Herbert. I'm serious, man. He is not clutch. He is not the guy. He is not elite. He's probably going to be on this team for another 10 years, and we're probably going to go one and done in the playoffs for 7 out of those 10 years. And nothing's going to change because no one gives a fuck about the Chargers. I don't know why I give a fuck about the Chargers at this point. It's just fucking ingrained in me at this point. It's just fucking ingrained in me at this point. This is just my fucking life now, is just anticipating the same thing happening over and over. And of course it had to be against the bitch Patriots because, oh yeah, I haven't fucking forgotten when I broke my desk because the Chargers couldn't make a stop for 6 straight Patriots drives in that one fucking game in like 2019-ish. That was the last time that the defense didn't show up. Coincidentally, every other Chargers playoff game, the defense has been the only shining fucking beacon of hope what so goddamn the fuck ever. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The bitch Patriots will fucking, walk into the Super Bowl again, I'm sure. Just like the 49ers, they played like dog shit against the Eagles today, and they still won. So they're probably going to find a way to go to the Super Bowl again and lose to another team that I despise. Who's left in the playoffs? The Broncos and the Patriots. I guarantee you that that's the AFC Championship game, and whoever wins, we all fucking lose. God, the sport makes me want to do horrible things to innocent creatures. That's all I've got to say on that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been 21 minutes of me yelling into this phone over something I said I would not yell into my phone about, and something that I should have stopped caring about back in 2018. Wow, is that the first time that I've said that on this channel? Anyway, I didn't expect this to be my first real video of the year, but then again, what do you want anything else? Do you want me to do a 2-hour deep dive into a PS1 game that like 15 people played? Do you want to do that? Because that's something that is very possible. There's a possibility that that is a video that I'm working on right now. So yes, I'm sure that will get half the views that this one does. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to go to Walmart and drown in my sorrows. And hopefully by the time you see me next, there is a real video on this channel. I'm going to end this video now because I don't want to be 22 minutes. Bye.